Weird. Weird.
You know, someone said that frickin' Panera's Pepsi's taste funny.
Better.
No, I mean,
What? I'm not sure. Welcome everybody to the Average Intelligence
Hello.
Podcast. Hello.
Hello, and welcome back to our shitty podcast.
We shouldn't be laughing that much considering what we're talking about.
Ragu and fried rice. No, just kidding. What?
Shouldn't be laughing so much with what we're talking about. Before Haley hit the nail on the head. Oh, good. We're talking about this bullshit. Yes,
Yeah.
Sosa. Yeah, Sosa. You're right. Because here's the thing. As per usual, we're coming at this from an atypical perspective because it's no secret. We both voted for Donald Trump, or we both supported Donald Trump. I can't remember. Were you unable to vote? I can't remember.
I didn't vote. I just didn't care.
Oh, fair enough.
It
Uh,
wasn't that I knew he was going to win. Like I felt it this time. I was like, they're not going to be able to do whatever if they did anything last time. So I was like, he's going to win.
okay,
It's
but my point still stands. We both supported Donald Trump, and
absolutely.
we're very transparent about this. In fact, there's video evidence about almost 5 years worth of video evidence. But here's the thing, though. We have always said from day one that no one is free from criticism. And my angle on this whole thing is there's basically one of two possibilities here. Now, they both contradict each other, so only one can be true. But either way, it reflects poorly on Trump and his administration. So either all this really was just a conspiracy, but they ran on it, and then when it came time to pay the piper, they're like, "Oh shit." Actually, no, one of three things could have happened. So it was all actually a conspiracy that they used to just run on, and then when they, oh, we got to pay up now. Well, there's nothing there. Which, to be fair, I don't believe that. Second option is they ran on the conspiracy without doing any sort of actual fact checking, and then when it came time to pay up, they're like, "Oh shit, we don't have anything. What do we do now?" And actually, I think something like that happened to Pam Bondi because I feel
She
like the
misled
rug.
people. She misled people, dude. Like
Well,
really,
I
she knew what people meant, and she did something that she shouldn't have done, and now they're backtracking on it. Like
well,
it's definitely it's you can definitely see that. If you can't, you're like, oh, I guess I'll look the other way. No, she literally said what she said to get people riled up, and then didn't know that she couldn't deliver. I'm thinking that there's other entities or whatever you will in place that are not allowing this to happen because there's too many people involved, like
I'll tell you.
unlimited people involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think happened here, at least with Pam Bondi. But the other possibility is that it is a conspiracy to cover it up, and basically they intended to release what information they could. Some of it is going to was always going to remain redacted, as is in a lot of cases like this. But the conspiracy goes that some very powerful people were on that list and basically called up the head honchos and were like, um, "You don't want to release that list because if you do, like we're going to go down, but we're taking you with us," or something to that effect. And
Absolutely.
and
I
given like and it, if you've watched the show for any amount of time, you know that I'm not really big on conspiracies, but I feel like I've got a pretty good bullshit detector, and there's a shit ton of cows not very far away. You know, like like Haley actually sent me a text the other day, and she said, I like this feels like bullshit. Do you think this is bullshit? It seems really fishy to me." No, here's the thing. And my response was, it's absolutely bullshit, and it may as well be in the middle of the ocean. Like, this is fishy as fuck. But here is what I think happened to Pam Bondi. I think Pam Bondi, as the Trump administration has been apt to do, because it's also pretty clear that they don't really talk to each other, especially between departments. But even Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, who they're not directly in the same department per se, but they're kind of in the same,
Isn't it
like,
alarming
yeah. But here's the
how they
thing. So
just don't communicate?
yeah, it's kind of, but I mean, like, this is Signal Gate all over again. Like, ironically, they were talking, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of, again, there's not a lot of synergy. As much as I hate to use that word, it's just not there for a group of people who claim to be like on a singular mission to further Trump's agenda. They don't seem to have a lot of team spirit going. But anyway, so I think Pam Bondi didn't even, like, she was given the folder, and then she was like, didn't even bother to look at it before she got up there and talked shit, which again is what many people in the Trump administration want to do. And then she
Oh,
released it, and then everybody was like, this is all shit we knew. Like, they put it in
that's
binders, bro.
that's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't see how that, there's nothing to come out with. Like it's I don't know, but no, I was gonna say Haley. She said he's been pictured on the island. I want to push back on that. I haven't seen a picture with him on the island. I've seen a
I
picture
have
of
I have
I've
not
seen
with Trump.
Epstein. Well, I was gonna say I've seen Epstein on a boat, or was it on a boat
No, it was
or
at a
at
fundraiser. And then there was a video they
Mar-a-Lago?
released. Yeah, there was a video they released too where they were, I think they were both at a wedding together, but it wasn't at the island. What about all the influencers she paraded with the folder? That's what I'm talking about, Justin. Like, they put it in binders and shit, and then everybody's like, "All right, let's dig in a."
Have you seen the videos? Like
Yeah.
with them with the binders and then them trying to talk about him? It's like the stupidest shit.
Oh yeah, they've seen they. He's been pictured with Epstein,
We've seen a picture with
which
him.
I which I want to be clear. Here's, at least from my perspective, and I can explain my reasoning here. But first, before we get too deep into this, I want to let everybody know that tonight's podcast is brought to you by our friends at Paramount Plus and Visitor.ai. We'll touch on both of those awesome sponsors here in the next little while. But like I said, I want to be crystal clear about something, and I feel like I can justify this. We know Trump was on the flight logs. There's a lot of people that were on the flight logs, including RFK Jr. There's a lot of people that were on the flight logs.
Tom Hanks, Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, that there's no reason to believe they were involved in any sort of illicit activity, because in Jeffrey Epstein's legitimate businesses, which were few and far between, but he had a legitimate thing going, or at least it seemed legitimate. His whole shtick was he would surround himself with rich people, and he would basically wine and dine them to try to get them to invest in whatever he was looking to get invested in. Turns out the majority of the time he ran away with the money, but that's a separate issue. So he was chummy with a lot of people, or at least he appeared to be chummy with a lot of people. And RFK even told the
Mhm.
story about how I can't remember if he said, I think they took a plane ride but then declined another one because he said he just felt he didn't like the guy, which, I mean, that's easy to say after,
Yeah, he
that,
said he was creepy.
which I
Did you
believe.
ever hear him talk about it? He's like, oh, he was creepy,
Yeah,
and
it was
I was like,
creepy.
yeah,
It was
it's kind of
creepy.
creepy too. It's okay.
But so my whole thing is, like, if Trump had actually been involved in anything bad with Epstein, he wouldn't have talked about the case as much as he did, saying, like, we're going to release the documents. We're going to release everything. We're going to release it all. It's going to be fully released. But, like, if you're guilty, that's not something that you would do, particularly in a position of power like that. So I don't think Trump
Mm.
and Epstein were involved mutually in anything. Epstein obviously was involved. I almost said that way wrong. Epstein was obviously involved in horrible shit. I don't think Trump was involved in any of that, because if he had been, you would think they would have not, been so vocal about it. But I do think, like, completely unsubstantiated with evidence, but just my gut feeling here is that they were going to release more stuff, and then they got some phone calls. Now, I don't know who got what phone calls, but I think some people said some shit and they made it disappear.
Probably. But Trump didn't help it today, or whenever he
No,
put out that message last. That message was so
that was bad.
bad.
That was bad. That was real
And
bad.
then what's her name? The new secretary, when she was talking about it and she deflected horribly.
Oh,
Like and
Carolyn
that's
Levitt.
like everything I've seen from her, man, she's smart, she's quick on it. And then this one was just the same old bullshit,
Not really.
like
His first press, or not his first. His
well,
last
this new
press
one doesn't
secretary.
take shit. She's mean to these people. I
But
like it.
here's my only thing about Carolyn Levitt. She's not smart enough to be in that position because all she does most of the time, I will admit, she's had a couple zingers here and there, but people who actually push her, she just doubles down and makes herself look even dumber because someone will bring up a legitimate point and then she'll just be like, we've already, what's the word I'm looking for? We've already disproven that. It's like, well, no, you haven't. With what? You have not. She just doubles down. Trump's other younger blonde press secretary, I can never remember her name. She was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I can't remember what was her name.
I can't remember,
She
but
was the
what?
second one, but she was the
Yeah,
last one. She was
yeah, but
really good.
she was good because when somebody came to her with something, she had a binder. Like she would cite other things that
Well, the biggest difference is this girl is 26, while they were probably well into their 40s, and they were very sharp as well. But this girl, for being 26, is really good.
there's no way that last girl was in her 40s. There's no way. Bro, she looks younger than
She,
Carolyn Levitt.
she was at least 39.
No
She
fucking
was at
way,
least
dude.
39, I swear.
Okay, now
Let me see
I
if
gotta.
she is. I'll look her up real
I was
quick.
gonna say, yeah, look her up real quick because I like. There's no way that girl was in her 40s. I believe she was older than Carolyn Levitt, but she couldn't have
I'm
been that
really just
much.
fucking with you, but I don't know. It was Kaylee McKinney.
That's right. Yeah, she was good.
What is her age? 37.
No
So not
way.
40. She's 37 though.
She's 37 now, so still early 30s when she was
Yeah.
press secretary. Good job. Um, they were chummy looking. Trump made Alex Jones vomit and cry.
I think no, Alex Jones. I think I'm gonna throw up my beautiful dinner that I had. Ugh. This beautiful dinner they made me, I'm gonna throw it
They fed me gay frog legs. That
up.
was more RFK Jr. than Alex Jones. Gay frog legs.
What are you doing? I'm burying you. I don't even know who that was supposed to be. That was supposed to be Trump, but I can't do Trump.
I'm
You can.
burying you.
Yeah, there you go. Mine ended up sounding like Bobby Hill. I'm burying you, Dad.
Bobby,
Oh, come on.
Bobby, what are you doing?
You don't know sound them back out. Like I can't do Boomhauer either.
Very well said,
You know,
Boomhauer.
hey, the new King of the Hill coming out. It's looking very promising.
It
Did
is.
you
It
ever
is
watch the
looking very. I've seen some of it. I didn't see all of it, but I like it. I don't think when it was first airing, I didn't get
You
it.
don't have to watch it all the way. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's fine to just catch an episode or two.
I couldn't stand it when I was younger, but now that I'm older, I dig the show. I think it's very
Get more
funny.
respect for it.
I never
Yeah.
disrespected it. I always felt like there was something I was missing, and age. I was missing age. I was missing that feeling of the world moving faster than me now, and
Yeah,
not liking it one bit. I tell you what.
not at all. Did you ever watch complete randomly, but did you ever watch Wonder Years?
I love the Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years is such a great show. My wife, dude, she's so weird with it. She does not like the Wonder Years. She said it was a creepy show. And I was like, "What do you mean creepy?" I was like, "It's such a fantastic show." I was like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, it's a great show. It's
I don't know
it's
why I
awesome.
brought that up, but that's what we do on here. But
That's what
anyway,
we do
back
on
to the
here.
Epstein files.
You watch the intro. You know what we're about.
Back to the lecture at hand. Epstein was a man who hung himself. You understand? Let's go.
All right, back to the child molester.
Oh, that was terrible. Please don't. Sorry, I ain't got anything for you.
Incidentally,
I'm sorry.
Incidentally, I finally watched the first of the Clint Eastwood trilogy, Fistful of Dollars. Felt like an old man.
I've never seen any of them.
They're good. They're old, but they're good. I understand why my dad liked them. Because my dad was big, but like old school
My
Clint Eastwood fan.
my father-in-law has a bunch of DVDs and whatnot, so like we'll end
Yeah,
up going through them.
you should. You should watch them. They're good. A little long, but I'm excited to get to Good and Bad the Ugly.
What'd you
The,
say?
it's
I think
weird seeing Clint Eastwood so young. That's what's really jarring. Because he's the same, but
is
different.
he still alive? Did he pass?
No, he's still. I think he's still alive.
I think okay. I
I'm
couldn't
pretty sure
remember
he's
now.
still alive. But anyway, yes, back to this.
I digress. Get
But I mean,
back.
you're. Well, speaking of digressions, we might as well mention to you since we're talking about movies and whatnot. Listen, it's no secret. I love Paramount Pictures. I love Paramount Television as a company. And when they came out with their own streaming service, I was thrilled. And then my good friend Justin and I started a Star Trek watch along podcast. And lo and behold, Paramount Plus is a sponsor for us now. So that was wild. But I'm very, very proud to recommend Paramount Plus because not only I'd recommend it even if they weren't a sponsor, I had many times, but uh, they've got such a great deal going on. I shit you not. If you use their code SUMMERFUN right now, use the link in the description to go to the promotion page and use the code SUMMERFUN, you get your first 2 weeks of Paramount Plus for 99 cents, no matter what plan you sign up for. So you can try it out. You won't want to cancel because they've got a lot of really cool stuff coming up, including for all you Star Trek fans out there, we've got Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3 premiering not too long from now, just in a week on July 17th. You're a Dexter fan. Dexter Resurrection premiering on July 11th, so that's tomorrow. Big Brother Season 27, including the live feeds, available on all plans starting today, so that's available. NCIS Tony and Ziva premiering September 4th, a little down the line. Tulsa King Season 3 in this fall, 2025. Landman Season 2, Billy Bob Thornton. I know a lot of people are fans of that show. That's coming in November of this year. And then Mayor of Kingstown Season 4 will be released shortly. And you can watch all these shows regardless of what plan you have. Because the other awesome thing about Paramount Plus is they don't do that tiers bullshit. You sign up for the streaming service, you get all the shows, all the movies, all the time, whenever you want them. Click that link, use the code SUMMERFUN, and get your first 2 weeks for just $1. Not even, because they don't charge tax. Go on, laugh.
Paid bitch. I'm just kidding.
I'll never
Oh
sell
man,
out.
that's awesome. Paramount. That's seriously, that's cool.
They are.
Don't let me talk crap on that. That's really awesome.
They're
Paramount is
cute.
decent.
I've always
Man,
liked Paramount.
Paramount's pretty freaking cool.
I'll tell you what, they sure are. Also, the only ones that gave our goofy asses a sponsorship.
I keep whacking off in my stool shit. Yeah, come on.
But you are the conspiracy guy. So I really want to know. I want to know what's going under. What I really want to know what's going on under that helmet of yours.
No, I need a haircut so bad.
Dude, bro, you seeing this? It's bad.
There ain't much hair.
I'm honestly just hanging in there till about a week before the wedding, and then I'm gonna get it cut.
Yep,
Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to get it cut twice, and I'm like, fuck that.
understood.
Speaking of which,
So what do you got for me?
I need your suit measurements, my friend.
Oh yeah, I know. I literally keep telling her every day because we were supposed to go somewhere yesterday and ended up not having time, and then we tried to tonight and didn't have time.
I just need to know your pants measurements and your jacket size. That's all I need.
I know. 32 long. The right hand's a little longer than the other. The name's Shooter McGavin.
Oh my God, Happy Gilmore 2? Is it out yet?
Not yet.
I
I think it comes out the 23rd or
I think you're
21st.
right. Yeah, I think you're right. Which fuck it, we've already diverged. We'll get back to the conspiracy. We'll get back to the conspiracy in a moment. But I gotta ask, were you a fan of the Naked Gun movies?
July 25th.
July 25th.
Um, somewhat. I know I watched one or two of them at your house, or actually, I think we may have watched it at church.
I don't
Did
think
we?
so. I don't think so.
During a lot? No, no, no. We didn't watch that. Okay, but I
No, that
remember
was
watching
but
one.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, baseball.
Spaceballs 2 is coming out
Is it
finally.
really?
Yeah,
Rick
they're doing it.
Moranis? No John Candy though.
Yeah, but Rick Moranis came back, so there's something. But I gotta ask you, have you seen the trailers for the new Naked Gun movie that's coming out in August?
Yeah, I mean everybody's like hating on it. I'm like, what? We just give it a
Bro,
chance.
what are you talking about? This movie looks fantastic. My
I
favorite
know
joke.
that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. I'm like, like it doesn't look bad.
It seems just like the original Naked Gun. Like it's right up that. I
Liam
gotta.
Neeson's face though is too rigid. Like so, it's like it's. I
I
don't know.
like it.
Even though he did funny things, I didn't laugh.
Oh, dude, maybe you haven't heard this, but it's such a stupid joke. It's in one of the trailers, one of the newer trailers. He's interrogating a guy, and he's like, "Says you did 20 years for man's laughter," and then the guy goes, "You mean manslaughter?" And it just looks. He just looks at him and goes, "Must have been quite some joke."
Well, see,
That's
the
the
funny thing
shit I
is,
live for.
I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing together. So, is Spaceballs 2 coming out though? Not to be cold.
No, it
Mel
is.
Brooks is years.
It is, unless it was an elaborate joke, because it said they were making it. Rick Moranis is coming back as Dark Helmet.
Rick Moranis. Every
Ah,
time I
but
think
anyway,
of Rick Moranis, I think of Tourette's guy. Anyway, let's get back to
yeah. So what's going on under that
this
helmet?
thing. So, I don't really have a whole lot of theories on this one right now because, like, there's no theory about it. They're just hiding it. Like, it's obviously either Trump is on it or there's too many people, prominent people on the right who are on it, and they just don't want to release it now.
This is just
Because
in.
Pam
Yeah,
Bondi kind of shot herself in the foot by the way she spoke about it,
she
and
did. She
then
really did.
and those cringy books that they handed out, to influencers, so that was lame. So honestly, I don't think it's really a conspiracy. I think it's literally this is the first scandal, the first true scandal right now.
I'd say that because all the other scandals have been more partisan issues, but yeah, this is a scandal that's honestly there's this is just adding to sort of like the divide that's happening on the right now, which
It's stupid.
you know what though? It is and it isn't because I kind of get it. It comes down to though, which it kind of makes sense because Trump built such a large coalition of people on the right around him that it was only a matter of time before it started fracturing just under its own weight because the big one, at least thus far, and the Iran missile strikes, which turned out to, at least for now, seem to have worked, that divided the isolationist right versus the more, I'm not even going to say hawkish. I guess hawkish would be appropriate, but I don't necessarily disagree with those actions. So that feels negative, but I don't mean it negative. So there's that. Now you've got like, then of course you had the Trump Musk breakup, which was just, that was delicious on social media.
Oh, Musk. Yeah, Musk and him, that was wild. Like that didn't I was just like, why is he going so hard? And then come to find out like how they split up was pretty wild. What was it about again?
It was about a couple of things, but I think it did mostly stem from a lot of the electric vehicle subsidies getting phased out in the big beautiful bill.
Hmm.
Which I don't think that was all of it, though. I do think that Musk was standing more on principle, and the Trump side of that fight just kept saying it's like, oh, he's just mad because the electric vehicle subsidies are going away. And I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure that didn't make him feel great, But I really do think, because I think a lot of people on the right, the fiscal conservative crowd, is feeling a little betrayed by this bill, which basically just spent a shit ton of money after they ran on this idea of fiscal responsibility. And just right at the outset, they raised the debt ceiling another $5 trillion, which they're not going to spend it. The next Democrat Congress is going to spend it if and when that happens. When that happens, because it is eventually going to happen.
They're all working together.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's kind of, I think that's what really bothers people the most is the fact that this was a group of people that vehemently said, we are, again, the whole drain the swamp thing. We're going to drain the swamp, but there was a whole lot of handshaking going on. There was a lot of handshaking going on, right?
Speaking of draining the swamp, give me 2 minutes.
You gotta drain the trouser snake. That's the wrong movie. I did Little Nicky voice for a Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back line. Never mind. Well, while he's gone, I'm going to tell you, all you fine listeners out there or viewers, if you're watching on YouTube, which by the way, hello, please like, share, and subscribe to the video, and watch all of our older videos if you have not already. But particularly if you create content, and Justin, you can attest to this. If you do create content, especially on YouTube, you know better than anyone that growing is really, really tough. And one of the best ways to grow is YouTube Shorts. Here's the problem though. They're a bitch to make. They take a lot of time, especially if you want to do them well and make high quality videos. You got to chop through all your long form content. Then you have to reframe it to the 9:16 format. And you've got to make it, add captions and add videos and pictures if you want to, because generally, if it's just you talking, those tend to not do too well. There's a lot of stuff you got to do if you want to do it right. But as I said, time consuming. Fortunately for you, our friends at Visitor.ai can help you out with that. All you have to do is upload your video into their workspace, and their AI automatically chops up your video in the clips most likely to go viral based on their AI algorithm. It's like you got to talk with your hands, right? You got to talk with your hands. But not only does it chop the videos up for you, it gives you a probability of going viral score and why. And if you want to be super lazy, you can even have it schedule the uploads for you. So you can realistically shoot out 40 shorts in under 20 minutes. It's fantastic. They have a lot of other features too that I've used to save me a lot of time and headaches, like their video translator that captions your video and automatically translates it to another language. And yes, it can recognize other languages even if you don't speak them. So if you need English subtitles on a video in a foreign language, again, about 10 minutes, it'll do that for you. So click that second link in the description, visit our friends at Visitor.ai, and start using AI to create your shorts, reels, and TikToks today.
We're number one.
Number one!
Dude, you're getting really good at those ads, man.
Well, I learned from Ben Shapiro.
That makes a lot of sense. That
He
guy was really good
he
at
he
ads. Not
he
good at
takes
getting
it
people though.
he takes it too far with the ads.
Yeah, he's always trying to find new ways to like incorporate them, and it's weird. He'd just be like talking about something random, and by the way,
Actually, he's gotten a little bit lazier with them, particularly in his clips. He's still pretty good about
Oh.
sliding them in during his show, but
I haven't watched him in a while. He's kind of lost me a little bit.
I still watch his show every now and again. I've never been a daily viewer, but what was because like he just did an episode about the Epstein files, right? I think not yesterday, the day before yesterday. I can't remember. It was the day it happened, and he was a little too agreeable. He wasn't flat out saying that it was all true, but a little too agreeable. So I turned it off. I'm like, come on, Ben. Like come on, dude. You know
Just
better.
because they're on the right or something like that doesn't mean they can't eventually be bought.
Well, now to be fair, I'll give credit where credit's due. Ben was actually which this did surprise me. Ben was actually giving Israel some flack a few weeks ago when they had that ceasefire agreed to. It was that moment when they were going on a mission, and Trump called Netanyahu. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You need to turn those planes around."
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
honestly, I
Everybody was
got
so surprised about him saying that. I'm just like, who cares?
I got a
Oh
little
my
more
God.
respect for Trump after that because this tracks. It's happened before. I've always said I will respect a politician that, when at an appropriate time, uses big boy or girl language. I have given that compliment to Dan Crenshaw and now Donald Trump because they swore when it was appropriate and they weren't like could you imagine? It would have been worse if it been like they don't know what they're freaking doing. Really? Come on. This
Dan
man's in his
Crenshaw lost,
70s.
lost me during COVID with the vaccine passports.
Well, I mean,
He was,
fair.
that was
That's a
silly.
separate issue.
I
I'm
know
just talking about.
he's a good guy. I think he just said something stupid. I'm sorry. I literally
No,
was
no,
trying to
you're good.
derail.
You're good. You're good.
But
I'm kind of with you. I think, see, like, just having not met the guy, like, I seem to like Dan Crenshaw as a person, but as a lawmaker, some,
a little too wishy-washy for me.
yeah, it just depends. Like most political things, it just depends on what's going on in any particular moment. But yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's just when
point,
people hop back and forth. Your point.
well, my point being that, is that Nora?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Nora. But
Just came over a couple of times.
yeah, my point being though is that like I have every reason in the world not to believe them when they say that there was no evidence of any co-conspirators because it go back and fact check me on this, but I seem to remember his first case that he caught in Florida, there were four other like I guess co-conspirators and the right accomplices, that's the word. Like there were four other people in the indictment. So on his smaller scale operation, he had four other people, and you're trying to get me to believe that there were only two of them involved in this whole thing that spanned literal decades? Come the fuck on. Like, really? But then again,
That's what
Prince
this whole
Andrew,
thing is like. Really?
yeah, but then again, Prince Andrew is not in jail yet, so, like, yeah, I
Yeah.
believe it. I believe that they're intentionally dismissing all this. So, come on, Anonymous, work your magic.
Yeah. Where did they go? It's like, were you a government plant the entire time and made people think that they had freedom?
I don't think so. I think maybe they just got bored.
I don't think they're bored. I think they were a plant. There
Really?
have been
Okay.
plants throughout the years, man.
Okay, no, I'm all ears. I'm all ears because I feel like I know where you're going, and I don't know that I could say that you're wrong.
Stone Temple Pilots was an industry grunge plant because they were meant to keep the grunge scene going a little bit, and then everybody started dying off, so they stopped that. Um, yeah, I could keep going for days on these things. I don't know if it's true or not. They're just fun to talk about. If anybody out there is taking me seriously, please don't
The
be
thing,
stupid.
I'll always entertain a theory until I'm given direct evidence that demonstrates that it's false.
I always tell people, I'm like, listen, it's a cool story. It could be true.
Could be.
I'm not gonna say it's not, but could be true. Some people think Paul McCartney actually died in '66, and I've seen some compelling evidence, but it doesn't make it true.
Well, I mean,
Because
it could.
obviously, you know why? Because he's still alive. That's a pretty good indicator, but at the same time, man, the evidence is weird. It's like Joe Biden in his earlobe. You remember how it was detached and now it's like sucked to his face? How does that happen?
Surgery, maybe. I don't know.
Well, actually, I would say because as you age, you lose fat in extremities sometimes, and he lost fat in his earlobe, so therefore it looked more attached. Like,
There
does
you
that
go.
make sense? There you go.
Hey,
I like explaining things away.
in other news, I still want to know how bottle rockets work underwater.
Dude, I miss that so much.
Yeah,
It's been two
you know
years.
what, dude, like real talk,
Three.
and I'm not going to go into the why, but you'll know why I didn't. I was so about to hit you up to see if you guys had Fourth of July plans, but I figured you didn't just because of everything going on. But I was very close. I think maybe next year we might need to get together and blow some shit up.
Yeah, I was gonna say because now we've got other families involved, dude. So like we can all collectively get
Yeah.
together and
Yeah.
get a lot of dude. Because I went to one fireworks store and the prices, man, crazy,
Well, see what
crazy expensive.
might be another year. What we got to do though is we got to stash some money back for July 5th and then go buy a bunch of fireworks for next
Yep,
year.
I've got the
Or
perfect
actually,
property now.
what we should do is July 5th is when we buy our New Year's fireworks, and then January 2nd is when we buy our 4th of July fireworks.
Do stores sell on New Year's?
Oh yeah.
I've never. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you betcha, you sure.
I thought he's gonna be going to Jordan Peterson. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, well, you have to think about this though. What do they do with the fireworks they don't sell? They're not just going to throw it out.
They label them something else so that everybody doesn't get
They
mad.
repackage them, and before you know it, you've got Independence Day. Eh?
It's not 50 firecrackers. It's 50 Christians.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna let everybody know now because I did promise the Candace Owens reaction video is happening. I don't. It might be next week. It might be the week after. I don't know. We have to figure out if we can make that work because we want to do a Superman review, but we just got to coordinate that. But I think we will. So that might be next week, and then Candace will follow. I promise everyone, I will do it. I was gonna say because the Jordan Peterson video got so much love, it got a lot of hate, but I don't care because fuck off. But it got views, and that's what I want. I just want you to watch it. You don't have to like it. Appreciate it if you do. But anyway, but the thing you don't know about 4th of July going forward is thanks to Haley, indirectly, I now am the proud owner of a George Washington costume, powdered wig and all.
You patriotic motherfucker.
Well, actually, I just did it uh, to prosecute the musical Hamilton, but I got the costume right, and I'm like, shit, this is pretty fucking cool. So I was just gonna like get rid of it, but now I'm keeping this sucker. This thing looks awesome.
Yeah.
So I figure I can just light the fireworks and then run away screaming tally ho every time.
Hell ho. Spider-Man. Hell ho.
Up and away, web. I feel like I,
Shazam. Shazam.
I feel like George Washington would have said Shazam if that word existed at least once.
If George Washington would have became Spider-Man.
No, dude, when I'm going to like the big one, you just see me
Get ye
running.
butt back here.
You just see me running back towards you guys going, "Ah." And then you can all go, it's
St.
George.
Joe. Ah. It's George. Oh man, that stuff makes me laugh so much. Shane Gillis is a comedian genius. Like he only had to do one, and he pretty much set his legacy. Tires is just a bonus.
Oh, dude, I still need to watch season 2, but I enjoyed
I
season 1
haven't
of
finished season
Tires.
one, but it is funny.
I've enjoyed it. The weird thing about Tires is it doesn't feel like a show. It feels more like just a really long, good SNL sketch. But Shane Gillis is just hilarious. So you just can't stop watching. He's so funny. I wonder what he
That
thinks
is
about.
funny.
I wonder what he thinks about all this conspiracy stuff.
Honestly, do you think he's a conspiracy theorist?
Oh, hardcore.
Yeah,
He
I don't
very
think so.
much.
I think he's
He
more of a
he very.
historian buff.
Yeah, no, but he does strike me as somebody who likes to dabble in this kind of stuff.
I don't know because he seems more like a guy that's like a matter of fact. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like this is something he'd have
We'd have
fun
to
with.
ask him. Shane Gillis hit us up.
Yeah, Shane, I would like to know what you think about the whole Epstein client list not existing. I think that's the biggest thing is how they're wording this because they've talked for so long about the Epstein list. And they've even said we're gonna release the Epstein list. Before we started, I was watching Pam Bondi 4 months ago on Fox News talking about when she was gonna release the Epstein list. And now they're just like, oh, well, it doesn't exist. Which, by the way, everybody, if you took a look at the thumbnail and even smiled a little, if you haven't already liked that video, because I'm proud of that shit, because I thought that was funny. Dicks.
Listen, if you get a like, we'll sing to you. We'll say thank you for being a friend.
That's Donald Trump.
Thank you for being a friend. See, I can't do
I
his.
feel, to me, Trump would sing like William Shatner sings. He'd just talk quasi rhythmically.
Thank you for being a friend. Oh shit! Who was that?
I don't know who
I'm
was
gonna
that.
cut you. I'm gonna cut you with a soldering iron. It's the Foo Fighters.
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you.
Frank, traveled down the road. We traveled really far, probably the farthest anyone's ever traveled. And then we came back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you threw a party, it would be the greatest party ever. No one will have ever partied like we partied that night. And if you invited everyone you knew, which would be a lot of people, because you're a great person, you would see the biggest gift, literally the biggest gift you'd ever see. It would be from me. And the card would say, from Don. That's it. That's all I got. But it would be the biggest. You didn't
Definitely a
even.
pal, confident.
No. Hey, somebody did give us a like.
Appreciate
So.
it. Give us a like. Anderson under pressure.
Yeah, I'm going to miss those Biden jokes.
Oh, word vomit. Yeah, I know. He's not. Did he get his cancer taken care of? Anybody know?
I don't think you can, but
I don't know how it works. Like, I mean, he's old and rich, so I mean, I don't know.
that's true. They're just going to inject him with liquefied cash like they did on South Park with Magic Johnson.
Yeah, pretty much,
Oh
man.
my God,
I feel
guys,
the same way.
we figured out the cure for cancer. It's funny.
It's actually money. He's like, oh, I'll just juice it down and inject it. And then they were sleeping on money.
That was so
Oh no, he
funny.
was sleeping with money in the room. That was funny. Yeah, but if he wouldn't have slept next to his money, so it's like, would he have died then? Oh man, I'm rambling.
Well, I mean, that's really all I got. I knew this was going to be a shorter episode,
Yeah, because it's not. It's a hot topic, but there's not really
but
a whole lot
nobody
to say yet.
but nobody
Nobody
knows
knows
anything
anything.
because they kept it all under wraps.
I mean, that's just the way it's going for some
That's just
reason. Like nobody knows anything, and I guess they're okay with it, and we're not. So there's a huge disconnect right now between people and the power, and that's not a good thing.
no, and
Like
that's just
I don't care how much I support anyone, this is not okay.
it don't look very good, but
Oh,
that's just the way it is.
we pissed off.
That's just the
The
way it
people are pissed off.
is.
So small.
So small. Well, I mean, that's all I got. So tune in next week and you will either see a Superman review or me reacting to Candace Owens appearing on Jubilee's Surrounded because I did promise. Even though I really don't want to do it now because I feel like that was a very poor decision on my part, but I said I was going to do it. So,
Oh,
eh,
and just so I'm holding myself accountable, I need to remember this. I figured another way I'm going to help. Look for reactions coming soon to certain videos, and it's just going to be simple, fast TikTok type videos. So look out for that. And I'm gonna start doing a new series because it seems like to be an easy one that I can do. If I'm gonna scroll videos, I might as well do reactions to them.
Nice. Yeah,
Bada
I'm gonna
bang,
start.
boom,
I'm
bang. We all have seen everything.
No, I'm gonna make an animal. I want to know that.
Oh my God.
But anyway, with that said, thanks for enjoying this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully, you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent, but not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight.
I've got 2 brain cells left, and they're just rubbing together, sparking a
Just
fire.
for warmth.
I'm cold.
They're rubbing together for warmth.
We ain't got no band, Randy.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we're reviewing Superman. Actually, I'm just gonna call. I feel like by next week we can both have seen Superman because I want to watch it anyway. I'm
It'll
cautiously optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
Just as Superman says. I don't know. if he says
Superman doesn't say that. And with that, we'll see.